Yo, what's going on, guys? My name's Tom, and I want to talk to you guys about MCC coming to PC, the implications, and kind of what this means for console players, and I guess Halo moving forward, because Halo Infinite will be featured on both console and PC. All the information I'm going to refer to in this video is actually provided by Sketch. He works for 343, he did a Reddit AMA, and I'll link that in the video description, but I'm just going to reference kind of the more relevant points as it pertains to console players. But before I begin, I just want to share my thoughts quickly. I think MCC coming to PC is great. I think that it's going to increase exposure for the game. It's not really much of a secret that PC is a bigger platform than Xbox, so the hype is definitely justified, but I think there are pretty serious implications that people, specifically console players, aren't taking into account. Number one, no crossplay. In Sketch's AMA, he basically confirmed that there will be no crossplay. So this means that if you play on the console, you will not be able to play with PC players on MCC. Now, this is pretty unfortunate because there's a lot of people who are depending on crossplay. Not everybody has a PC and not everybody can afford to buy one. Don't get me wrong, building a PC has never been easier, and you could spend like $500 to $1,000 and build a pretty decent computer, but not everybody wants to make that investment, be it for financial or personal reasons. Whatever the case may be, that's still a lot of money to fork out just to play Halo. Consoles, for the most part, are significantly cheaper than a pre-built or custom-built computer, which is why the lack of crossplay doesn't really make sense to me, because you're kind of alienating console players, both new and old. I mean, everybody and their mother has heard about MCC coming to PC, so there's probably going to be people who are going to be putting MCC back in their Xbox Ones, and when they find out that crossplay isn't there and the population is still low, they're just going to quit again. So I think crossplay definitely needs to happen. I mean, you would think that Microsoft would push for crossplay, if anything, just to sell more Xbox Ones, but I guess not. So the next thing I want to talk about is anti-cheat. Anti-cheat is confirmed for MCC coming to PC, but to what extent? Virtually every type of gaming keyboard and mouse has macro functionality. So what does that mean? Well, you can program double shots, BXRs, BXBs, backpack reloads, whatever the fuck you want to program into your mice and or keyboards, you can do. When MCC first came out, there was something called Cronus Max. This was a USB chip that you plugged in your Xbox, then you plugged your controller into that. What that allowed you to do was write scripts and remap all your buttons. And of course, people figured out pretty easily when MCC launched in 2014 how to program double shot macros into this Cronus Max. Keep in mind, most of the players who did use that were pretty fucking dog shit. They couldn't BXR, RRBX, BXB, nade reload, wall glitch, etc. But if you gave a Cronus Max to a good player, they would dominate. So like I said, most gaming mice and keyboards have this functionality where they can write out scripts and macros. So depending on how sparingly you use macros, I think it would be pretty easy to avoid anti-cheat measures. Obviously, if you're fucking stupid, then you'll probably get banned. But the point is, I don't think that you could effectively implement anti-cheat measures for something that's a part of the game like double shotting or quad shotting unless you keylog the game, which I don't think that would fly for most people. So the next thing I want to talk about is mouse and keyboard versus controller. Gaming mice and keyboards are significantly more precise. On a gaming mouse, you could adjust the DPI, the sensitivity, the polling rate, etc. Whereas on an Xbox controller, you're pretty limited as to what you can do. Controllers are at the mercy of in-game settings. Now, to me, one of the biggest advantages that mouse and keyboard users are going to have is how many buttons they can program. There's a reason why Scuff was so popular, and there's a reason why Microsoft created the Elite controller, because you can never have enough buttons. So what I expect is mice and keyboard users to pretty much keybind everything. Mice and keyboard users will be able to simultaneously jump, shoot, aim, beat down, thrust, use equipment, whatever it is. It's pretty similar to Halo 3 when everybody and their mother played bumper jumper, because it allowed you to shoot, jump, and aim at the same time. Prior to that, people used to claw, and clawing pretty much caused arthritis for a lot of people, so bumper jumper was kind of like a saving grace. That being said, I think that there's going to be a very big gap between mouse and keyboard versus controller users, and that doesn't even include aim assist. They definitely cannot give a mouse and keyboard user the same amount of aim assist that they give a controller user, because it just simply won't be fair. Overall, I think MCC coming to PC is great for exposure, but I think it adds very little to nothing for console players. Best case scenario for console players is people come back temporarily just to play and get the hang of it, but until we're guaranteed some type of cross-platform, I think there's really nothing to be hyped up about. That being said, I have the full Reddit AMA linked in the video description, so if you guys want to see that, feel free to check it out. But as always, make sure you guys like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Love you guys. Peace.